So one of the great things about Pipedrive is that it really helps everyone on the sales team and the sales managers know exactly what's happening at each time. It's a very transparent CRM, it's a very visual CRM, and it's easy to keep up on everything that's going on. That being said, this is some times where you might not be in Pipedrive every day, but a simple email notification might do the trick for keeping, say, a sales manager or somebody else who's involved in the business who isn't necessarily in sales, keeping them up to date on specific notifications. Now, Pipedrive does have a notifications feature. They've built it out actually quite a bit recently, but there's still some things lacking from it. And I've also run into some cases with some of my recent clients where they just needed a specific email to go out to a specific person in their organization once a certain phase in the sales process was met or once a certain type of deal was created. Well, in order to do that, I found a way to do that right within Pipedrive using just Pipedrive workflow automation, and that's what I'll be showing you today. The automation that I set up, and I'll show it really quickly, is an automation that once a deal is created within this Pipedrive, right, in this case in the demo pipeline, I will get an email notification to my inbox saying that this new email has come in. But not only that, I've created it in a way where you can hyperlink the deal ID into the email notification, which was a bit hard to do within Pipedrive itself using the Pipedrive workflow automation. But so let's take a look at it. First, I'm going to show you the end product, and then I'll show you how I got there. So in this case, I'm just going to create a deal. This could be a deal that's created anyway. Use Jeff Bezos. Everyone would like to sell to him, so we will hit save there. All right, and we'll notice that we have this new deal here. At the same time now, I'm going to jump over to my email inbox. You see that I just got a new email there. This is another one of my companies, remotetips.com. And I will open that email now to show you what that looks like. All right, so we can see that we got this new message from Pipedrive. This is an automated email that I set up using the Pipedrive workflow automation. And it says, hi there. I put in a little emoji there. A new deal was just created. The deal title, Amazon deal. The deal contact person, Jeff Bezos. And the deal owner, me, Matt or Matthew Salas. And then you see here that we have the direct link. I was able to add it right there automatically to the new Pipedrive deal. So we're just going to click on it there just to confirm. You're going to take just a second, and you see there it is with all the correct information that we put there. All right, so you saw how easy that was, and I think the really cool trick about it was when we're actually able to add the hyperlink into that automation, right? So how did I do that? Let me jump over to the workflow automation section, and let's take a look at the workflow I set up. All right. So in this workflow, which I just called new deal email notification, I use the trigger as just being the deal created. Now, the trigger could be anything. If we're trying to connect to a deal, then the trigger has to be something that where we can grab that deal ID. So it either has to be deal created or deal updated. If you use a trigger like activity updated or activity created, yes, we can use that as a trigger, but we would not be able to tie that email, notification back to the deal because there's no way to grab a deal ID from an activity trigger, right? So it could be, for example, a deal custom field was filled in. It could be that a deal was created or a deal reached a certain pipeline stage. We can use that as a trigger, but we wouldn't be able to use, in this specific use case, an activity trigger. So we used here the deal create. It's just a simple trigger, and I didn't put any conditions around it for this demonstration, but obviously we can put in any number of conditions. You want a deal created from that has this specific lead source or that has a value over X amount, 50,000 US dollars or whatever it is. We can add in those conditions in this section down here. Here is the part that takes a little bit of work. This is something that I don't think has been demonstrated before in other YouTube videos, or even within Pipedrive documentation, I didn't really see it. Maybe I missed it. If I did, I'm sure other people know about this, but I just thought it would be good for everyone else to know how to do that as well. So I'm just going to go in, and the action that I used, if we go look at the previous step, is send email. We could also do send email with template, but in our case, we just did send email. Next step, in this to section, you can choose any of the predetermined options, the deal creator email, the deal contact person email, or the deal owner email. You can also just type in email address. So in this case, for this demonstration, I just used a generic email for one of my other companies. Right? The email subject line, you put it in there, new deal created. You can add in additional information, a new high value deal created if it's a deal over a certain amount, or a new deal from lead source X, was created, whatever it is. You can add that there, and then here is the body, right? So the body, you can just put in whatever you want, whatever information that's important to you or the person that you're sending this email to automatically. And then the I'd say, I guess, tough part, or the trick comes in down here when you use this link, right? So how did I create this? Well, when we go to look at the structure of the URLs, we see that any deal, when you click on a deal file, it always has the same structure, which is your domain or subdomain. So in this case, iSales Solutions .pipedrive.com/deal. And then these last numbers right here are actually the deal ID, right? So if we're able, while we can't just pull up the deal URL in the workflow automation, we can pull the deal ID, and we can just copy this part right here, right? We copy it and paste it there, and then we use a merge field, deal ID, and attach it to the end there. Notice that there's a little bit of space, and this is the funky part that actually takes a little bit of work and a little bit trial of error. So even though this shows that there's a space, there's actually not in the URL. By default, it seems like Pipedrive always likes to put a space before and after these merge fields, but you can just take it away, right? So like typically when you put it in, it'll look like this, and you just backspace, you just go to this middle space here, backspace it, hit apply, and you're good to go, right? All right, well, that's saving just to, again, show you that it works. I'm just going to do one more test. So I'm going to go back to the deal pipeline here. And just to make it super easy, I'm just going to duplicate it. This has no conditions around it, this automation I created. So duplicating the deal will create a new deal, and we should see it pop up in my inbox. And there it is, right? Hi there. A new deal was just created, deal title, deal company person, and deal owner. You see that, again, it's accurate. It's pulling the actual deal title, Amazon deal copy, and then it pulls up the URL that brings you directly to the Pipedrive ID. Right. So again, this was something that I thought would be a cool, unique video or Pipedrive tutorial to do. I've had 2 of my clients in the last 3 months ask for something like this, so I knew that it might be top of mind for a number of Pipedrive users. If you found this video to be helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel iSales Solutions, and leave a comment if you have any questions about this automation or anything else related to Pipedrive. And then finally, if you or your organization needs help with Pipedrive, you can always reach out to us either on this YouTube channel or by reaching out to me directly at matthew@isalessolutions.com.